And we're going to have the same thing here. But then I'm going to look at New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business, and he ran for governor. And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You know, you never know what happens. But Pritzker's a gross incompetent guy, thrown out of the family business. But when I look at Chicago and I look at L.A., if we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn. If he would have allowed the water to come down, which I told him about in my first term, I said, you're going to have problems. Let it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into L.A. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully L.A. is watching. That mayor also. The city's burning. Into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in. Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol. If our Capitol's dirty, our whole country is dirty, and they don't respect us. So it's a very good question, actually. Lipscomb is incompetent. He's got a good line of but that's about it. He's incompetent.
Beautiful ballroom. Yeah. Could we build a big, beautiful briefing room? Updated technology. Yeah. More seats.
I don't want to do that. I don't want you to be comfortable. So no, I don't want to make life comfortable.
But I continue to hear from my sources. They believe the NAR will be around $4. They believe the dong will be somewhere in the $2 to $3 range. Indonesian rupiah, about $1.47. Nobody I have talked to has any idea what to tell you guys on the Venezuelan Bolivar or the Pengo. I think I covered them all. But you guys weren't covering already in chat for the person. I think we're building up to a reset, and I think it's sooner than later. My contacts on the ground in Iraq say that is not accurate. Someone has said that the new dinar rate has been showing up in the Gazette. Does anyone know if it's true? My contacts that live in Iraq say no, it is not true. That a lot of conversation is popping up about rates, potential rates, where it needs to be, what it's holding, but no official rate being posted in the Gazette. I'm feeling a lot better about Venezuela's hopes with that announcement yesterday. To me, it's positioning, and we got a couple other pieces that point to that. News today, guys, is light. If you're here just for the news, it is extremely light. Did finally track down some of my redemption folks. They're on a retreat this weekend with some of their fellow employees. Wonder what they're discussing. I don't know. Found it interesting. They did not share specifics, so I know they're not at the bank. Other than that, oil is not pumping. That is your short cliff notes. It is very much a Splenda news day. Sudani's always been particular about cleaning up the government, making certain the government actually works. We're seeing that mass push from the Kurdish region to everywhere to clean up right now in their politics before I would hypothesize that it is time to get rid of all of that before the reset. It's one thing if they're stealing, $100 worth of dinar, the dinar's worth nothing. It's another thing if they're selling $100 worth of dinar and it's about to be worth thousands. If you see where I'm going in this one, this sudden concern with cleaning up every little piece of government waste and scratching back currency, and then the rumors, many solid rumors that they just destroyed 62 trillion dinar. To me, it is screaming, guys, it is time. And then the need to shut down and control all of the financial borders, what we just saw with many of the banks that has happened in this past week. I think 77 different orders went out where they are tweaking how they are handling U.S. dollar/dinar for transfers. Exciting in my book.
We're sending out some subpoenas, and there are actually some active investigations I think that probably you won't be fully aware of until we announce the conclusion of those investigations. But the president has been very clear. The attorney general, the FBI director have been very clear. They are looking at law breaking. And for people who broke the law, it's not going to be a slap on the wrist. We're sorry. Have a nice life. It's going to be you've got to face consequences for it. And I really think it's our sacred obligation to the American people to ensure that those who broke the law pay the price. Yeah, so another crazy thing that I had no idea about, but everybody, even Democrats actually admit this, that the census in 2020 had a major statistical error. And what that meant is that you actually undercounted a few states that are Republican, like Florida and Ohio. You overcounted some blue states. And so what I understand, if you actually did the census anew right now, you would have 10 additional Republican seats and 9 fewer Democrat seats. And really what we're living with, Maria, is the consequence of 40 years of institutional control in the Democratic Party. These guys have fought very dirty for a very long time, and they haven't just won elections and enacted laws that we may not agree with. They have tried to rig the game for Democrats and against Republicans. And thankfully, under President Trump's leadership, you finally see some spine. You finally see some backbone in the Republican Party to fight back against these very aggressive Democratic dirty tricks. But the only way for us to do it is to actually go and do the hard work to reset the scales a little bit. What we want to do is redo the census, but importantly, we want to redistrict some of these red states, and we want to make the congressional apportionment fair in this country. Again, you cannot do it unless Republicans actually take some very decisive action in the months to come. We think they will, and we're obviously supporting them every step of the way.
But do you worry that as Republicans do that, the Democrat blue states are going to do the same thing, and then you'll have redistricting in California, New Jersey, and so on?
You know, Maria, there's just not a whole lot of juice left out of that lemon. The Democrats have already gone as far as they possibly can. Let me give you a crazy statistic. So I believe that it's in New Jersey, Illinois, New York, California, and there's one other Democrat state where you take those 5 states, you have a large number of Democrat representatives. But here's the crazy statistic. President Trump won 43% of those 5 states, and Democrats have something like 85% of the representatives out of those states. You cannot gerrymander these far left states anymore, and that's the whole point. We have unilaterally disarmed in the Republican Party. We have said to the Democrats, if you want to rig the game in your favor in blue states, go ahead. We're going to do nothing to fight back against it. That's crazy. It makes it harder for us to pass our agenda. It makes it harder for us to win elections. And most importantly, it gives Democrats this ability to run roughshod over the country without any pushback from the American people. The democratic system in this country is broken because who you vote for doesn't necessarily get reflected in who your representatives are. We're just trying to rebalance the scales and, frankly, push back against a very unfair system created by the Democrats.
Unbelievable.
And I think one of the things we all have to remember is that the value of a token over the long term is really going to be derived by its utility. What problem is it solving? How big is that problem? How many customers do you have? There's no question there's a lot of hype in this system, and I don't actually think that's a good thing. For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other. Our view is you can use a digital asset like XRP to do that in real time. Because XRP has been so efficient, it settles a transaction about 3 seconds compared to Bitcoin. So it just passes through that currency for that period of time. That's correct.
Rapid Response 47 posted on X, 2:36 p.m. August 9th, 2025. President of Peace. Azerbaijan and Armenia, Cambodia and Thailand, Israel and Iran, Rwanda and DR Congo, India and Pakistan, Egypt and Ethiopia, Serbia and Kosovo, and Abraham Accords. Mr. Paul, August 11th. Trump restoring new Republic constitutional order by Friday 15th August. Federalized Washington, D.C. revokes autonomous status shared with London, Vatican. Makes Washington, D.C. free from corporate beholding to foreign banking interests established back in 1871. Erases Internal Revenue Service. Launches External Revenue Service. Military law. Game over. Thank you for playing. Signed, President Donald J. Trump. GESARA, coming up like a phoenix from the ashes. First goes DC, then London, then the Vatican. Swisher 1776 posted on X 8:13 p.m. August 11, 2025. Alert: Iraq-Iran signed security MOU to boost border coordination. Baghdad, August 12th, Iraq and Iran signed a joint security agreement on security coordination along the shared borders between the two countries. The Memorandum of Understanding MOU was signed by the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Ali Larijani, and Iraqi National Security Advisor, Qasem al-Araji, on Monday, according to a statement by the Prime Minister's media office.
11.3 Laws of War. You are watching the doors open to military occupation. 11.3 Laws of War operations that will lead to massive arrests and storm operations. The beginning stage is in D.C. today. These beginning operations of 11.3 will spread to cities across the United States. It's no longer conspiracy that the military will end the deep state occupation and deep state foreign occupation. Congratulations, patriots. We are finally at this stage, a very important in U.S. history. Military is the only way. Q. Historic Bond Redemption, 2025. For decades, the world's elites hid original gold-backed promissory notes in secret vaults. The locks break today. These papers are not worth anything. They are bonds. What is on the way? Kings, emperors, and wartime treasurers issued bonds that were backed by metal, not ink. From Imperial China, dragon bonds. German debt promises before the war. Victory notes from the Pacific, not paid. All of these are legal under international law. Their total claim is much bigger than the fake debt machine from the 21st century. Why were they stopped? The Bretton Woods cartel changed the world to printable money. If they had honored real bonds, the paper empire would have fallen apart in one morning. So the cartel killed the records and hid the discredited holders. The holders fight back today. Royal families, tribal councils, sovereign trusts, and military guardians are all offering original works for redemption. The paperwork is checked line by QFS and military courts. Central bankers can't stop time. The chain reaction: once even a small amount is paid, the lie of debt slavery falls apart. The price of gold goes through the roof. Fiat money melts. Governments need to show the world their balance sheets again. Humanitarian megafunds get their power from real value, not fake money. Warning: counterfeit scammers sell digital files that don't have any history. If the paper doesn't have a seal parchment and a living witness, it's trash. Do not take anything else. Last flash: historic bonds are like nuclear bombs aimed at the heart of the deep state bank network. Redemption means the end of central bank rule and the beginning of an economy run by the people. Wait a minute. When the first payment goes through, the blackout curtains drop and the biggest transfer of wealth in history begins. Tick-tock. Truth that bursts out can't be stopped. The cartel is in a tight spot. The doors to the vault are opening right now. For humanitarian, like-minded individuals, there is still time for people to acquire a Yellow Dragon Bank Note Bond, YDB. It's now a limited opportunity as all platforms have been closed. We want to grow our humanitarian community and change the world in a big way with great people. Just private message me for instructions to acquire a YDB and join our YDB community. This is a private offering via the Chosen One channel. The real story? Barclays tested live corridors with RippleNet partners in Europe. HSBC sent settlement data to Ripple for stress testing. DBS built corridors for Asia-Pacific remittances using XRP as a bridge asset. Wells Fargo looked at replacing its FX swap desks with tokenized liquidity using XRP. All before retail even looked at the chart posted by Lord Belgrave on Telegram. Status: green light. Confirmed Trump's go code hit the board an hour ago. No sirens, no press leak, just a quiet signature across the quantum feed. Everything since has been dominoes. Media grid satellite transponders over Atlanta, NYC, London, now under provisional military control. When they flip the switch, prime time turns into courtroom. Force movement. C-17s lifted from Ramstein, Diego Garcia, Andrews flight plans sealed, not troop drills, extraction lists, civil channels. Apple and Android just received a dormant update flagged EBSPREP. If your phone chirps 3 short, 1 long standby. Next 72-hour sequence 1, market pause, technical maintenance across CME and NYSE. Real reason, ledger drain. Second bank holiday, announced as Cyber Review, buys 48 hours for QFS hard cutover. 3. EBS rollout, every screen, every band, unskippable. Fourth mass arrests, sealed indictments become flight manifests. 5. GESARA. Credits, debt slate wiped, gold weight assigned to biometric wallets. When step 3 lands, the world you know archives itself in a single frame. After that, history restarts. Remember, there will be no second feed, no mainstream handholding. You're either watching from the inside or refreshing a dead web page. Stay aligned, stay ready, God wins. Posted by the Ghost of Ezra on Telegram. Ginger's Liberty Lounge Military Update. At Catscream. 2021. I don't care if you believe me. I care if you're ready. Better to prepare for nothing than be blindsided by everything. I'm sharing word for word what my deeply loved family member who has a high-ranking position in the military just told me. Listen, I don't have much time and I can't give you details, but you need to hear me. Things are moving fast, faster than I've ever seen. They're prepping bunkers, moving supplies, checking systems that haven't been touched in years. Something big is coming. I've been told to make sure my own family is ready. For the first time in my career, I was explicitly told, if your family lives anywhere near the coast, move inland. No explanation. Just do it. When I pressed for more, I got shut down with, that's not your concern. Just take the advice. I don't know if it's days, weeks, or months away, but it's enough to put the entire upper chain on edge. I've never seen them like this. You need food, water, cash in hand, and a plan. No one's going to sound the alarm for you until it's too late. Just don't ignore this. Please. Love you hard. Talk more soon. Anyone else hearing this? Send me a PM if you don't feel comfortable posting a comment. 6:39 p.m. August 10th, 2025, posted from Jessica Rojas. Breaking. President Trump is preparing to deploy over 1,000 members of the National Guard to take back the streets of Washington, D.C. Do it. President Trump, law and order must be restored to our nation's capital. Posted by H.T. Nick S. Imminent. You are watching the surface. I am watching the hand beneath it. For weeks the grid has been whispering the same pattern. Banks pause, satellites recalibrate, tickers glitch, courts seal, anchors out sick. That's not noise, that is staging. What is coming? Worldwide blackout in rolling waves. Not every city at once. It will look random. It is not. Martial law overlaid to keep streets quiet while the old rails are drained. Mass arrests that will appear as resignations, illnesses, flight delays, canceled pressers. Global currency reset that flips value from paper, promises to asset weight. Freedom from cabal debt as legacy ledgers convert to zero or fulfilled. What you will see, first one. Local power flickers followed by identical maintenance notices across unrelated providers. Second, news channels looping the same frame. No live panels, no call-ins. Third, payment apps timing out at login, then reopening with a new terms menu screen. Fourth, airport boards that show on time while terminals are held at the gate. 5, a short tone on radio and TV, then a quiet screen. Do not panic. That is the bridge. What it means. The blackout is the curtain so the crew can change the set. Martial law is the lock so no one runs the old tricks. The arrests are the receipts that everything you suspected was not only real, it was systemic. The currency reset is the power cord finally plugged into the right outlet. Debt freedom is the first breath after years underwater. How to move through it. Charge devices now. Screenshot critical info. Keep one device in airplane mode. Turn off auto updates after the first tone. You do not need a surprise patch mid-sequence. Cash on hand for 72 hours. Water, light, calm. Do not chase rumors. Markers will be simple and public. Markers I will post. Market feeds that return data void for more than 6 minutes. Government portals that show 888.88 or 0000.00 in place of numbers. The first tribunal docket timestamp. You will know the names. QFS wallet prompts that pair to biometric identity without SSN. GESARA credits labeled reconciliation or fulfilled. After when screens return, balances will not look like yesterday. Student debt and revolving credit show closed. Mortgage entries say fulfilled or reconciled. Pension values float to a gold index instead of dollar inflation. You will feel the room change before you understand why. Do not let fear write the story for you. The cabal sold you a lifetime lease on your own future. That contract is about to be void. Stay here. I will call the markers as they land. If this channel goes quiet, it means the broadcast grid has taken custody and the sequence is live. Hold your position. Breathe. Watch the quiet. Posted by U.S. Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent on Telegram. Martial law happening now, low-key using different language on mainstream media, so unawakened, people don't freak out. Martial law is the temporary imposition of military rule in place of civilian government, typically during a crisis like war or natural disaster. It involves the military taking control and potentially suspending some civil liberties and legal processes. While the U.S. Constitution doesn't explicitly authorize it, the Supreme Court has recognized martial law as permissible under specific circumstances. Military governance. Martial law essentially means the military takes over the functions of civilian government, including law enforcement and administration. Posted from Patriot Princess 777. Friday, August 15th, is the anniversary of President Nixon taking USA off the gold standard. Will we see a boomerang? Posted by Patriot Princess 777. For those who may be missing the depth of upcoming events, the U.S. President and Commander-in-Chief announced that the United States military has conquered Washington, D.C. without firing a shot, and the formerly foreign vassal territory is now being dissolved and absorbed into the jurisdiction of the United States of America. This is the equivalent of the Ottomans conquering Constantinople. The dark forces that have manipulated and controlled the shadow livers of governments in power across the entire Western world for over 500 years just publicly and permanently lost one of their 3 crown jewels. 1 down, 2 to go. We the People WWG1WGA, posted by Reelschinon on Telegram.
This was a comment made by ANON 416 on X. What you don't see is that by federalising DC, you effectively remove it from its independence with the City of London and the Vatican. It is no longer a sovereign corporation. Think Act of 1871, void. Forwarded from Watch the Water, Heidi. Airlines delay more than 17,000 flights. 17, including thousands in the US, from Men's Journal. Jessica McBride, journalist. Airlines delayed more than 17,000 flights throughout the world before noon on August 10th, including more than 2,000 in the United States. That's according to FlightAware, which tracks flight delays and cancellations. In addition, hundreds of flights were cancelled. According to FlightAware, the total delays within, into, or out of the United States on August 10 was 2,109 by 11 a.m. Central Time. The number of cancellations was 93. Globally, 17,565 flights had been delayed, with 341 cancelled. This is what I said, 17K, you say. I wonder if it's the EBS. Must be. TNT Tony says again, I still don't have the 800 numbers, but being told tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. the party is supposed to start. TNT Tony. We'll see. Forwarded from Dot Connecting Anons, Melissa. DC Mayor and police weren't aware of Trump's plans for federal control. Breaking alert. CNN announces DC Mayor and police do not have access to the news, internet, etc., as they are the only people in America who weren't made aware of Trump's plan for federal control of DC today. Someone sent this link for a humanitarian project that someone's already initiated, which is called 500 Wetlands. It's a humanitarian for the homeless. Seems pretty cool. Features. Housing is a human right, correct? Micro homes, yeah, these little one-bedroom micro homes. Micro homes and nano shelters, an intermediate solution to homelessness. Easy to build, transport, oh I missed it. Modular flat pack design. Wonder which country it is. Canada. Like a little community. Here's someone that wants to create a community for the homeless, so that's one of my projects. Fully sustainable. Creating beautiful gardens and everything. I think this website says it all. It's 500wetlands.wixsite.com/haven/project-2. This was posted by Majid on X. It comments, all of a sudden, crypto legislation in Iraq, LFGGG. And this was translated by Grok from @Parliament IQ. Mr. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Mahmoud al-Mashadani, discusses with an international delegation the legislation of digital currency and the development of the financial market.
When objects spin fast enough, they become invisible. So when things vibrate at a high enough frequency, they become invisible to lower frequency things. Energy is like a radio. You choose what station to tune into. When you vibrate high enough, you become undetectable to lower frequencies. That means situations, people, energies, outcomes that match fear, chaos, or lack. They literally can't see you. They can't reach you. They can't touch you because you're no longer tuned into their reality. You've shifted out of range. You don't have to fight low vibrational energy when you're no longer in its field. You simply stop being available to it. So if you want to protect your peace, if you want to move through life unseen by the things that drain you, raise your frequency. Stay in love, stay in truth, and stay aligned. Because the moment you do so, you become invisible to everything that isn't.
Benevolent ETs watching awakened humanity tear down the dark force and matrix system as they remember who they really are and the divine power that they've had all along. Message from humanity to benevolent ETs. Can you put some clothes on? Just saying. We don't really dream. Actually, we live two lives simultaneously in parallel universes. Consciousness switch from one to the other by sleeping. We don't realize this because when we are in one life, the other life feels like a dream. August 11th, 2025. The universe is saying to you today, if you are not happy with the reality you are living each day, it is your responsibility to change it. You can redirect your life by making the best choices for yourself. From this moment onwards, give positive change a chance to grow. And this was by Healing Energy Tools.